All right, we're gonna go ahead and start this now. We are recording. Let me bring this over here. All right, you can hear me. You can hear. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, I can
I
hear
can
you.
hear you.
All right, good, good, good. All right, we're doing just fine. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start the timer for 30 minutes and start. All right, so let's see. What do I want to ask you first? First off, I want to say thank you for doing this with me. Maybe first off, could you tell us what your name is and where you're from?
I am Nathan Burstein, and I from Jerusalem, Israel.
Oh, okay. Jerusalem, Israel. Very nice, very nice. And your religion is Jewish, correct?
Judaism. Yeah,
Judaism. Yes, yes. Okay.
Orthodox Judaism.
Orthodox Judaism. Okay. All right. So yeah, you're an Orthodox Jew who lives in Jerusalem, Israel. Okay. So let's see. What would be? I guess a good first question would be, what do you think is the most unique aspect of your religion? Like, what do you think makes Judaism stand out as special among other religions?
First of all, look of the history.
Mm-hmm.
We are Moses has given us the Torah,
Mm-hmm.
and Christianity and Islam only make a copy of us.
Okay, yeah, that is true. The Torah is much older than the New Testament or the Quran. That is true. Yeah, a lot older
Yeah,
actually. Yeah. So yeah, if there wasn't any Judaism, there would be no Christianity or Islam. All right.
yeah.
So yeah. So okay.
Yeah.
I,
That's not
yeah. Okay. So yeah, that is a very fair point. That is a very unique aspect. Um. Let's see. What are some of these symbols of your religion, and what do they symbolize?
one of our symbols in Judaism that um, I most get to this
Mm-hmm.
is a tzitzit.
Okay.
Every man have to go with a tzitzit all the day,
Mm-hmm.
and when we see it, our tzitzit is it reminds us of all the rules of our Torah, and
Okay.
you know, this is a very simple in my view to see how we need to be Jewish and more Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Oh. Okay. Got you. I got you. Interesting. Let me think here. So, could you give me some more explanation as to why the land of Israel and Jerusalem is so important to Jews? Because not all religions have a particular location that they see as like holy, like saying
yeah.
that's our homeland, that's where we should live. But in Judaism, you do. So why is Israel and why is Jerusalem specifically so important to Jews?
Um, to answer this, I have to go again to the history,
Mm-hmm.
and God God promised to my fathers that He give them a land.
Mm-hmm.
Then that land, it's called Israel,
Mm-hmm.
and in Israel you have in special rules what to do with with what the ground give out, like fruits. You have to create them in specially. You have to give from them 10% to
Mm-hmm.
the priests or something. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and Jerusalem is also our city. What was the temples? The
The
temples.
temple. Okay, yeah, the temple. Yep. Yeah, I know. I know what you're talking about there. I remember that. And actually, yeah, that's actually a really good follow-up question. I wanted to ask you what your opinion would be about the temple. Do you think that the third temple should be built, or do you think that's something that God Himself is going to build and give to the Jewish people one day?
One of our great rabbis from all the generation is called Rambam.
Ah, yes, I recognize that
Uh,
name.
do you hear about them?
I know a little about him. I know he's a very important figure in
Yeah,
Judaism, or
yeah,
at least with the Orthodox.
yeah. He was Orthodox 800 years ago or
Mm-hmm.
something like this,
Mm-hmm.
and he wrote in one of his books that until the Messiah won't come, we don't know exactly what can be,
Mm-hmm.
what will be.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if the third temple will build with fire or with stones, but I'm sure that it will be great.
Okay, okay, I see. Okay, that's a very interesting perspective. Okay, so actually, you just brought up the topic of the Jewish Messiah in Orthodox Judaism. Like, what do people expect the Messiah to be? Because I know, in Christianity, they think the Messiah is like some suffering servant who dies for the sins of humanity. But I assume that in Judaism, it's not the same thing. Like, there's a different expectation of what the Messiah is supposed to be.
Yeah. So I answer you again from the
Mm-hmm.
Rambam.
Mm-hmm.
The Rambam says that that what that we don't expect to the Messiah that he would come and end up the suffering.
Mm-hmm.
No, not for this our expectation.
Okay.
We are expect him because then when he will come is the smartness and the knowing God will be like the water on the sea.
Mm-hmm.
If you can follow me,
Uh-huh. I got you.
it will be all with science and all with the Torah, and it will be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
For this we are expecting.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 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 So in your eyes, the Messiah is not going to be a king, right? He's not a king of
He,
anything.
he is a king.
Oh, he
Yeah,
is a king. Okay, okay, okay. So he is a
yeah,
king.
but
Okay.
not for this we are expecting to him.
Oh,
We are,
okay. I understand. Okay, okay, okay. That's interesting. Do you see the Messiah as a figure that's going to like save Israel, like save the Jewish
yeah.
people, and lead your people into the era where there will be a new temple built?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay,
That's right.
interesting. Okay,
And
so.
and when and when he will come, the in this time won't be wars and
No.
everything what is written in our Tanakh, in our
Mm-hmm.
Bible,
Mm-hmm.
it will become true.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So yeah, that's a much different picture of the Messiah than in like Christianity, for example.
Yeah,
A much
yeah.
different messianic figure. Okay. Um, what makes you a strong believer in Judaism? Like, what is it that makes you say that you can say that I know that this religion is true? Like what makes you think that way?
I'm a historian, and I love to look on the history.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever I got questions like this
Mm-hmm.
of my beliefs and the attack.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see how Judaism made them way in all Europe, in all Asia, and also in some parts of Africa, not in all Asia, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
in Iraq and in Iran
Mm-hmm.
and some stuff, some places like this,
Okay.
and we would suffer and suffer, and no nation has suffered as us,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's a fair
and
point.
we even we got it we got behind this,
Mm-hmm.
and we build our country as no, our not messiahs,
Mm-hmm.
profession,
Mm-hmm.
our profession is wrote us in our Bible
Mm-hmm.
that we all will come here someday, and some older people sit in the street, and the small children will play, and you see how all this is coming true, and
Mm-hmm.
I just wait to the Messiah because the Messiah should come.
Mm-hmm. So what you're saying is that the fact that the Jewish people have gone through so much persecution, and the fact that they're still here and they're still thriving, and the fact that you've
Hmm.
seen certain prophecies in the Torah be fulfilled, like in history, that helps to make you a strong believer in your faith.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Um, what are some of your religious rituals that you practice in Judaism that are very, very special to you?
I like Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur. Okay.
Um, do you know what is Yom Kippur?
Um, isn't it like the Jewish New Year, or is that
No,
something
the
different?
Jewish
Okay.
New Year is called Rosh Hashanah,
Ah,
the
okay.
head of the
Okay.
year. And
Okay.
10 days after it,
Mm-hmm.
it's Yom Kippur.
Ah, okay.
And this day is very, very holy by our eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the all the prayers and all the songs.
Mm-hmm.
You
Okay.
know,
Mm-hmm.
this is very close to it.
Okay, okay, interesting. So, we talked a little bit about the Torah. Are there other books in Judaism that are seen as very important? Like maybe not as important as the Torah, but books of wisdom that a lot of Orthodox Jews can read and look at for great wisdom and inspiration.
Yeah, we have a few books.
Mm-hmm.
We have a Gemara.
Okay.
Gemara it's written of the Mishnah. The
Mm-hmm.
Mishnah is written by a certain time, and
Mm-hmm.
after it, it's written the Gemara.
Mm-hmm.
The Gemara explains every rule and everything how a man should live his Jewish life.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So, another question I wanted to get your opinion on. So, the Jewish people, generally speaking, are like a race of people. It's more than just a religion. Like there's a Jewish race. Because I mean, there are plenty of Jews who don't follow Judaism. That maybe they don't believe in God, or they follow a different religion. But you would still call them a Jew because in their bloodline, their blood is still Jewish. Correct?
Yeah.
So, in Orthodox Judaism, is it possible for somebody that's outside of the Jewish blood, the Jewish race or ethnic group, to become Jewish? Like, is there a process of conversion for somebody if they want to become a Jew?
Well, of course, of
There is. Okay.
course.
Okay. So how does that work? If someone's not an ethnic Jew and they want to be, but they want to become Jewish, like how does that work? Like, do they say they have like a Jewish soul or something, even if it's not by blood? Like their soul is Jewish. Like is that how that works?
Kind of.
Kind of.
I don't truly understand your question,
Okay.
but you see on my answer.
Okay. 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 Well. Okay. Well, I just wasn't sure that always seemed kind of interesting because the Jewish people are seen as a race and an ethnic group, but there are people who can convert into the religion. Now, I assume the conversion process in Judaism is probably pretty hard, pretty intensive. Like in certain
Yeah,
in certain
yeah.
religions like Christianity and Islam, usually it's just a profession of faith, and boom, you're in the religion. But
Hmm.
from what I understand, if you want to be an Orthodox Jew, I know that there are some other Jewish groups that the rules aren't as strict, but I imagine you probably don't see those converts as actually Jewish because they're not going through the proper process. If you want to be an Orthodox Jew, like that takes a long time, right?
Yeah, yeah. In this, I think that our very, very unique between among the all religions.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you would, for example, if you would like to become a Jew,
Mm-hmm.
you have to go through a process will take you 3-4 years to study our Torah, and we must to reject you at least 3 times to see if you are really want to become Jew. And I have a few friends that also in the middle of the process, and they say me, "Wow, you don't believe how it's difficult. Why you don't let us in as any religion?" And I explain them, "No, our religion don't want all the world to be Jewish.
Mm.
Our religion want that who want to being a Jew,
Mm-hmm.
so he understand to which commitment he
Mm-hmm.
get into, to which dangerous
Mm-hmm.
he get to, you know."
Yeah, exactly. So one thing I was talking about earlier. So if somebody says they're a Jew but they converted through a process that was outside of Orthodox Judaism, you would not say they're Jewish, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to clarify that. So you just said that Jews, Orthodox Jews, don't want to go and convert the world. They don't want to
Yeah,
make people
yeah.
become Jews. If somebody really wants to become a Jew and they can really prove they're serious about it, there's a way for them to convert. But you all are not seeking converts. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that would lead into my next question. So what does that mean? For people who aren't Jewish, after they die, like what is your belief about life after death as a Jew?
I believe first of all that if the un-Jew died and he behave on this life very good to the Judaism and
Mm-hmm.
very good to God and everything like this, he surely have his paradise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
And I believe that we, the Jewish, also get our paradise.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So even though you see the Jews as the God's chosen people, if non-Jews live a good life and show respect to the Jewish people and their religion and their God, that there's a place for them in the afterlife. That's not bad.
Yeah.
They have a
Yeah.
good place for them. Okay. So what do you call the Jewish afterlife? I know Christians have a concept of heaven. Muslims have then they call it Jannah. So it's like the place that they go after they die. Like, well, what do you call the place that Jewish souls go to after they died or after death?
I call it in my language Gan Eden.
Gan Eden. Okay. What is
Or,
Gan Eden?
or to make it simply,
Mm-hmm.
is the next word, Haolam Haba. The next word.
Okay.
In our Torah, in the Gemara, it's
Mm-hmm.
written that all the word here
Mm-hmm.
is like a tiny. Wait, I have to translate it because
Okay.
it's very, very important.
I understand. No problem. Take your time.
Corridor. Yeah,
Okay.
it's just a corridor
Uh-huh.
to become to the palace, and the
Okay.
palace and the real palace is the next world.
Mm-hmm.
In the next world.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. And is this a place where you can be in the presence of your God like all the time? Like you're with your God? Is that what happens after death?
Um, yeah, yeah,
Okay. Interesting. Now I know in a religion like Christianity, they have a concept of hell for if the bad people or if the disbelievers die, they go to this place of suffering where they're away from God. Like, okay, what do you think happens to people, who have lived bad lives and that they've lived a life that is worthy of them not to be able to go to the good place? Like, is there a concept of hell in Judaism? Like where
Yeah,
where do
yeah.
bad people go when they die?
Uh, these people go to hell, but it's not hell like they burning out people, because
Okay.
burning it's have only in our world, it's have only in our physical world,
Mm-hmm.
but they are going to. I'm sorry, but didn't know much about this stuff. They go to make a like a laundry.
Mm-hmm.
They laundry their soul, and after this they get a life for eternity. You
Okay.
know,
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay.
and yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
we have also we have the Messiah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and we have after this Tchiyat Ametim.
Mm-hmm.
That means that all the dead will come back alive,
Mm-hmm.
and then to enjoy also the body and also the soul
Mm-hmm.
to the with God, with the temple. I don't know clearly what it will be. Like I says to you, the Rambam would says that it's impossible to know the stuff before they're happening.
Right. Okay. Now, you'd made a comment about how the dead will be raised from the grave. So, like,
Yeah.
what is your opinion on burial? Like, can a Jew be cremated, or do they have to be buried with their body intact in the ground?
Yeah,
That.
in the Judaism,
Mm-hmm.
you must bury the
Okay.
dead bodies, and you must not touch them in inappropriate way,
Okay.
because this cause to the soul very much suffering.
Okay. So cremation is totally not allowed at all.
Yeah, of course
Okay.
not.
Okay. Gotcha. Let me see. Where do I want to follow up with this? Okay. Well, we were just talking about the afterlife. I know in Christianity they have this adversary figure to God called Satan or Lucifer, and he is like in hell, and he's like God's adversary. But is there an equivalent figure in Judaism? I mean, I know in the Torah there's a reference to Hasatan, but he doesn't seem like the
Yeah.
devil in Christianity. It seems like Satan and Hasatan are two different people, but I'm not completely sure. Can you help me out with that? Like, what is that? Is
Um, Also in our Torah, it's have a difference between the Satan,
Mm-hmm.
who God created him to experience the people, to see if they are truly with the God or truly with their oneness.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Satan. We have the eagle. No, the how it's called? Just a second.
Okay, you're fine.
Excuse me. Angel of death.
Ah, okay. Now is that the angel from the Exodus story that killed the Egyptian firstborn? Is that the same person or the same angel, same being?
No,
It's
no.
not. It's not. Okay.
Who God Himself killed them.
Okay. 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 I got you. Okay. Interesting. So it seems that the Jewish concept of Satan is very different than the Christian concept. So it seems
Yeah,
like
yeah.
so does the Satan in Judaism like do things on behalf of God? Like God will give him permission to go do things, to test people. Is that how that works?
Everything, everything what the Satan
Mm-hmm.
will make
Mm-hmm.
is in the permission of the God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So would you say that Satan or the Satan is bad? Is he evil, or is he just doing the will of God?
Oh, you ask now a serious question.
Yes. Yes.
Um, God gave him a permission to do X stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and he make more of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we see it as a bad angel.
Okay.
God also created a lot of bad angel. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. I see. Okay. So he's a bad angel. So okay. So do bad angels live with God with the other good angels, or do they live somewhere else? How does that work?
I don't know.
You
You
don't
have
know?
to ask
Okay.
them.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. That's fine. I was just curious. Um, let's see. What do I want to ask you now? Okay. So this will be an interesting question. What do you believe about some of the stories in the Torah that some people might say that conflict with science? Like, do you actually think your God made the world in 7 days, or do you think that Noah's flood like actually covered the whole world? What are your beliefs about that? Like, is it more of like an exaggerated story that's meant to tell a lesson, or were those actual things that happened in history?
See, you touch now a big discussion
Mm-hmm.
between our rabbis.
Mm-hmm.
All the rabbis in Orthodox Judaism believe that God creates the whole world in 7 days.
Okay.
Now, in the only in the fourth day, He created the moon and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So before this, we can't have see no, how is it called, the giantess, no, just a second.
You're fine. No, take your time.
Yeah, thanks.
Well,
All the scientists believe in the explosion.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The Big Bang, you mean?
yeah, the Big
Okay.
Bang.
Okay. Yeah.
And also, when you see our Torah, it's also kind of go with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah, but they believe it's happening from himself and by billions of years.
Yeah.
And we are believes that he created them in 6 days. Now, if you give me some example from tree, like let's say from billions of years,
Mm-hmm.
or you give me some star that in his light until us it take billions of light years.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that God can create something in the age of 0 and
Mm-hmm.
also in the age of 20 years.
Okay.
Like he created the man, the first man, in age of 20.
Mm-hmm.
And he created all the world as it should look.
Okay.
So he don't create it from the 0. He created them how they should look. And because this, he could also to create a lot of stuff of billions of years that
Mm-hmm.
indeed now they created now.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you would kind of say that science says one thing, but your religion says something a little bit different. There's a little bit of conflict.
Yeah, and
Okay.
see, all the history of the science is they coming with the years closer and closer to our Torah.
Mm-hmm.
Before 100 years ago, people don't believe that there was one one mainland,
Mm-hmm.
and from the it's happened something and it's split.
Okay.
And the scientist Wagner
Mm-hmm.
has find it out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Interesting. So we finally reached the 30-minute time limit, so I'm just going to ask you one more quick question. If there was one thing that you would want people to know about Judaism who don't know a lot about the religion, what would that be?
Uh, I want them to understand that also Judaism and also Orthodox Judaism is also very open-minded and very curious about stuff like everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've heard a lot of people that say, "What, you are from this neighborhood? We don't believe you. How could you become so open-minded?" And because I know that people who come from there are very close and are very with their things.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You get me?
Yeah. So you're wanting everyone to know that people who are Jewish are very open-minded and they're very friendly and very peaceful.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's awesome. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do this for me. I really do. It's been great.
Yeah. I also love you. No, how it's called it? It's going for my mind. Yeah. Yeah. You are very interview man. You have
Oh,
this
okay.
ability.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
I
I see
appreciate that.
how you open these questions. Yeah.
Well, thank you. That's honestly very nice of you to say. I appreciate that, honestly.
Yeah.
It was very fun to talk to you. I thought you gave me some very interesting and very thought-provoking answers. You've taught me things that I didn't know about Judaism just here in 30 minutes. You taught me a lot, actually, so I appreciate that.
Okay.
All right, man. Well, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
All right, I'll see you, man.